Welcome friends. So today we are going to discuss about population dispersal. So according to the scientists Fan and Edwards, they defined dispersion as comprising the placement of individuals and groups of individuals within the habitats they occupy and the process by which it is brought about. That means that pattern of the placement and the factors affecting the placement, it is called as the population dispersal. In the simple words, it is internal distribution pattern of individuals within a population. Population, that means aggregation of the individuals of the same species. For example, bird of the same species, sparrow or crow or whatever it is, or that deer. So it is called as the population, and their internal distribution, it is known as the population dispersal. So basically, the distribution of individuals in a population, it is of three types. That is random distribution, which don't have any type of criteria. Uniform distribution, which has a typical resource, the resource which is in the small quantity, and the clumped distribution, that resources these are present at certain patches, and due to that there occurs clumping or the aggregation of the individuals. So we will see one by one. It is the diagram which showing the random, uniform and clumped type of distribution. In random, no, that means there is no any repellent forces, no the attractive forces. In case of uniform, you can see here that all the dots are in the uniformly, whereas in case of the clumped, you can see that five different patches there occurs aggregation of the individuals. That dots are representing the individuals of the species. So first one, that is random distribution. In case of random distribution, the individuals in a population are scattered over an area without any degree of affinity, any degree of that, any force of repellent, any that regular approach. So it is called as random type of distribution. This type of distribution, it is somewhat rare in the nature, and in this case you can find any individual at equal rate at all the points. But such type of distribution, it is rare. It is expected to occur only when the environment is uniform and the resources are evenly spread. If all the habitat it is having resources at each and every location, environment it is similar, and again that biotic interactions are same. So at that time we can find the random type of distribution which does not occur in the nature, or it is somewhat rare in the nature. Next one, it is uniform distribution. Uniform distribution occurs, that means in this case individuals are evenly spaced, they are maintaining a distance from one another, and it is only due to that particular high intensity of the competition, as that particular resource it is in less quantity. So that's why there is competition for that scarce resource, and due to that competition they are maintaining a safe distance from one another for their survival. This distribution, it is more regular than the random one. It occurs in case of the desert habitat when there is that less quantity of water is present. So to avoid the competition for water, the plants are uniformly distributed. If two plants are trying to grow at one location, so at that time one will eliminate the other, because that particular water it is insufficient. That water cannot fulfill the requirement of two plants. So that's why one plant uh, uh, get vanished from the habitat. So in the image you can see also that all plants are uniformly distributed. Next one, that is clumped type of distribution. So this clumped distribution, it is most common. If you have observed any aquatic habitat, any pond, so in that pond you can find that particular density of zooplankton or that density of that particular plants. It is more at some location, whereas it is less at some local locations. That means because that particular area it is rich in the nutrients, so that's why there occurs rich growth of the plant, and due to that there occurs rich density diversity of the zooplankton, because these plants are providing the space for we can say shelter, and again they are providing the food. So it is most common pattern of distribution and may result from the non-uniformity of the habitat, because that habitat it is not same. At some point, it has that maybe that inlet of the resources, or maybe that cattle activity where there occurs or that particular dung it is more. So due to that nutrient rich that dung, there occurs heavy growth of plant. So at that time we can find the clumped type of distribution. This is also called as irregular or non-random type of distribution. It is not or it has a fixed pattern. It is not called as the non-random. So it is called as the non-random because it has a pattern. Their density we can find only into that area where there is the high quantity of nutrients, and these nutrients or we can say not uniformly distributed in the habitat. There may be variation in the intensity of of can say clumped distribution, and it may be present only at certain times of the individual's life. Say for example, when that particular there is if there is parental care, so that particular young ones are with their parent only up to a certain age. After that age, again they have to go to search their new habitat, or it is to minimize the competition, or to make their own territory, which occurs in case of the wild animals. Depending on the distribution of groups, it is again of three types, that is random, uniform, and the aggregated clumped. So random clumped, that means groups are randomly distributed. Uniform clumped, groups are uniformly distributed, and the aggregated clumped, that means groups are aggregated among themselves. So what is the importance of population dispersal? So the type of distribution is extremely important in selecting the appropriate method of sampling. If we want to assess the, say for example, zooplankton density of any aquatic habitat, so at that time first you have to find what type of locations of that particular habitat of aquatic habitat. There are certain points where there occur that inlet of the water. At some time there occur that washing activity. If that particular habitat it is located in the rural area, it may have sometimes it may have the cattle activity. At certain points it may have the particular outlet point. So depending on that particular point, or it is affecting the distribution. So depending on that, if you want to check the population density of that particular habitat, so at that time you have to take sample from each and every such varying spot. Only in that condition you can get the exact idea of the density and diversity of a typical fauna, or that particular fish or the zooplankton. whatever it is. So it is depending on the uh, population dispersion pattern of the that species or that individual or that population, and it is affecting the sampling method. A small sample would tend, if we don't have idea about that particular population dispersal. Say for example, if there is any aquatic habitat, there is an inlet of toxic material from any industry, and if you are taking the sample regarding the density and diversity of fauna of that habitat, and if you are taking sample only from that particular point, which is the inlet of the toxic chemical, so at that time it will show that null density and diversity of the habitat. So that's why it will give too low or the too high. That means if you are selecting the wrong sampling spot, so at that time that particular density and diversity of that habitat, it will be very low. At the same time, if you are selecting that spot which is rich in the biodiversity, so at that time it will give you the high rate of population density. So it is affecting in both the way. So to get an exact idea, you should have the population dispersion pattern in that particular habitat. So that's why it is important one, and their distribution also, they are also playing the crucial role. They also give you idea regarding the interaction between the members of the same species and the members of the different species. The degree it is depend on the habitat, seasonal changes, reproductive pattern, and the social attractions. These all factors affect the uh, population dispersal pattern in the ecology. So this aggregation may increase competition among individuals for food, shelter, etc. At the same time, it has certain positive things also. That means that young one, if they are in the group, so they can learn from their parents or from their elder one, or then they are becoming more able to defend, to find the resources, and to modify the microclimate. The highest growth rate is estimated in the population if it is in the intermediate densities. If any population, if it is low crowded, so at that time that particular population, it is unable to defend itself, so growth rate becomes low. If that population, it is overcrowded, so due to that, that particular habitat, it is becoming unable to fulfill the requirement of all the individuals of the same population. So due to that, the growth rate again become less, or it falls down. And this particular phenomena, it is known as the Alice principle, as this particular scientist has discovered this particular concept in 1931. And, certain things which are affecting the dispersal, it is immigration. That means it is one way movement. If that any animal, it is going away from the, it is permanently going away from the population, it is called as immigration, which will minimize the growth rate. Then immigration is the inward movement of individuals of another population. It is permanent inward movement which will increase the growth rate. Whereas the migration, it is the two-way journey. The well-known examples are, we can find migration in case of bird, fishes, depending on that seasonal changes. Or in case of bird, we always see that winter migrants, in that in particular winter season, we can see huge diversity of bird in our areas also. Then the well-known examples of migration in case of the fish, it is catadromus, that means river to sea. Example, Angula angula. Some scientists also call it as the Angula angula. Another one, that is anadromous, that is ocean to freshwater. The well-known example, it is salmon. It is the migration, which is a pattern of population dispersal. If that particular habitat it is unable to fulfill its requirement, that migration it is maybe for the food or the reproduction. So in that condition, the migration occurs maybe for the food or maybe for the purpose of reproduction. Then last point, it is what we learned. So we learned about the definition, that means simply the internal you can say placement of the individuals of the same of a population, it is called as population dispersal. The three basic types, that is random, uniform, and the clumped. In random, there is not just any criteria; it is somewhat rare. Then uniform, if all the resources or that resource it is in the scarce, it is in the limited quantity, and the competition for that resource it is at very high level. So the organisms they are maintaining a specific distance from one another, so they are present uniformly. And clumped, if that particular habitat it is not uh, the uniform distribution of the nutrient, it is in the form of patches. So at that patch there occurs aggregation of the individuals of the population, so it is called as the clumped. Then its importance regarding the size of regarding the sample selection, size selection, and estimation of density and diversity. Last one, that is reference. I have taken the material, the diagram and the text from the book of author M.P. Arora. The book name it is Ecology, and publisher it is Himalaya Publishing House, Mumbai. And the content it is present on the page number 146 to 148. Thanks.